Part 1. Lighting the Fuse, 1918 to 1941. How the World Speedran Disaster. What do humiliation, bad economics, and a few men who treat treaties like optional Wi-Fi have in common? Together, they turn peace into a speed run. Welcome to the chapter where the credits for World War II start rolling, in 1918. 1. The war that ended all wars, and started another one. The guns fell silent at 11 a.m., November 11, 1918. But the stories didn't. Germany's army withdrew, politicians signed an armistice, and a poisonous legend sprouted. We didn't lose on the battlefield. We were betrayed at home. That stab-in-the-back myth fed on real grievances, reparations, hyperinflation, street fighting, until it normalized the idea that democracy was weakness in fancy clothes. In the 1920s, Weimar Germany teetered between fragile recovery and collapse. Cue a charismatic demagogue promising to reverse Versailles and make politics feel like a military parade. If you hand a megaphone to grievance, don't be shocked when it starts giving orders. 2. From fringe to Führer, how a party became a regime. Hitler's failed 1923 putsch got him a prison cell and a writing desk. The Great Depression handed him mass unemployment, radicalized voters, and a political escalator to the top. By January 1933, he's chancellor. Within months, emergency decrees, one-party rule, and a leader cult do the rest. The new regime retools the economy, autobahns for jobs, rearmament for pride, and a doctrine that turns neighbors into targets. By 1935, Germany is conscripting again and building the Luftwaffe in open defiance of Versailles. The lesson is cruelly simple. If nobody enforces the rules don't exist. Germany isn't the only one dressing for an imperial comeback. Italy's been fitting itself for a toga since 1922. 3. Mussolini's dress rehearsal for dictatorship. Before fascism was a European fashion trend, Mussolini was its tailor, switching from socialist rabble-rouser to nationalist strongman, then bullying his way into power in 1922. Italy gets a dictator, a black-shirted street army, and dreams of Roman grandeur. In the 1930s, he flexes Abyssinia, Ethiopia, and Albania, while selling the continent a preview of what coordinated fascism can do. Italy's swagger also shows Britain and France still prefer not now to never, a habit that will age poorly. And when democracies fear today's fight more than tomorrow's consequences, you get a policy with great bedside manner and terrible outcomes. Appeasement. 4. Appeasement. The paper shield Rhineland remilitarized. No response. Anschluss with Austria, 1938. No response. Munich, the Sudetenland, and a signed promise of no more territorial demands. Very proud response. Followed by the rest of Czechoslovakia anyway. Appeasement wasn't cowardice for sport. It was trauma management by people who remembered Verdun too well. But it trained the aggressor to expect gifts for threats. As one historian might put it, if you feed the wolf to keep him calm, you just get a calmer, bigger wolf. Why all the shopping? Because under the hood, this isn't just ideology. It's a resource heist in slow motion. 5. The Resource War. Beneath the headlines. World War II is logistics wearing a helmet. The Allies sit on oil fields, farms, bauxite, and global supply lines. The Axis, not so much. German planning reads like a grocery list. Norway to secure access to Swedish iron ore, France for food and stocks, and later a desperate swing east for Soviet oil. Even with Romanian wells, Germany's war machine guzzles more than it can pump. Shortfalls are covered month to month by Soviet deliveries, until paranoia and ideology demand a break. Resources don't explain everything, but remove them, and nothing else works. Meanwhile, in Asia, Japan wants oil too, and the store manager is about to lock the door. 6. Japan's fork in the road, north or south. Tokyo's grand strategy splits like chopsticks. The army champions Hokushinran, north into Siberia. The Navy pushes Nanshinran south into the Dutch East Indies for oil. After bruising defeats against the Red Army at Khalkhin Gol, 1939, the Northern Dream goes on ice. Then comes the squeeze. US, British, Chinese, and Dutch embargoes choke off approximately 80% of Japan's oil, and the southern resource area becomes not ambition but necessity. The gamble that follows, remove the US Pacific Fleet in one blow, will awaken the industrial giant it hopes to deter. But before Pearl Harbor, Europe explodes. At 5:45 a.m., September 1st, 1939 to be exact. 7. Poland. Blitzkrieg's terrifying demo tape. Germany invades from west and north. The USSR marches from the east 2 weeks later. Britain and France declare war, and then mostly wait. Blitzkrieg isn't magic lightning. It's a system. Concentrated armor, close air support, mission-type orders, and a doctrine to break the front before the defender can think. Poland is outmatched, outflanked, and partitioned. The phony war that follows is the calm before the Ardennes thunder. France trusts a concrete necklace and a 1918 playbook. Germany brings wire cutters and a new script. 8. Fall of France. The Ardennes plot. Twist the Allies sprint into Belgium as expected. Manstein's real blow drives through the impassable Ardennes to Sedan. Stukas smother crossings. Panzers burst out. Refugees clog roads. The corridor to the Channel snaps shut. The Dunkirk escape is a miracle built on a German pause, brittle weather, and civilians with shallow draft boats. 300,000 plus troops make it out but leave heavy kit in the sand. France fights on, then folds. June 1940 brings the armistice and a lonely Britain. It's a strategic earthquake. Germany's biggest rival on the continent is gone in 6 weeks. With France down, the war climbs into the sky, and a misdropped bomb will change the campaign's rules. 9. The Battle of Britain. When strategy hit a city, not a squadron. Britain's edge is invisible. Chain-home radar, centralized control, and careful husbanding of Spitfires and Hurricanes. Adler tag hammers airfields and masts. But Göring underrates radar and fails to keep smashing sector stations. Then a navigational error drops bombs on London, August 24th. Churchill orders Berlin hit. Hitler, furious, shifts to city busting. That relieves pressure just as fighter command wobbles. September 15th becomes a bloodletting for the Luftwaffe. Sea Lion is shelved. The night blitz begins and kills 40,000 plus civilians. But Britain does not break. Moral terror is a terrible substitute for strategy. Britain can stand, but only if someone keeps shipping it, food, fuel, and planes faster than U-boats can sink them. 10. Neutral on paper, arsenal in practice. America steps closer. U.S. law says no entanglements, but reality writes exceptions. Cash and carry, November 1939, lets Britain buy if it hauls the goods. Destroyers for bases, September 1940, swaps 50 aging U.S. ships for 99-year leases in the Atlantic. Legally cheeky, strategically vital. None of it is enough because Britain is going broke. Enter Lend-Lease, 1941. Food, trucks, radio cable, aircraft, even 2,000 locomotives and 11,000 rail cars for the USSR. This isn't charity. It's coalition geometry. Keep Britain alive, keep sea lanes open, and multiply Soviet staying power. Without Lend-Lease, there's likely no British springboard for a return to Europe. And just as the arsenal revs and convoys get teeth, the Pacific rings on a Sunday morning, and the war goes global in capital letters. If this episode helped you see how ideas rode on oil, ore, and airfields, tap subscribe. In Part 2, we rip through Midway, El Alamein, Stalingrad, the Atlantic, and the factory floors that turned the tide. Same pace, even sharper hooks.